She's a heck of a lot of fun, Jeanne Robertson. Oh, she's a heck of a lot of fun, Jeanne Robertson.
Well, hey, y'all, this is Jeanne Robertson, and welcome again to my back porch here in North Carolina. We have a special, exciting guest today that we've laughed so much since y'all got here last night and this morning. Can we tell all those stories? We can't. This is Jane Jenkins Herlong, and she is and three names. She was in a pageant. We always give our little girls in the South three names in case they want to be in a pageant. So I will tell you more about Jane Jenkins Herlong, and she will be delighting you. But let me right here in the beginning, because we always get bumfuzzled at the end. Jane is here this weekend. Next weekend, we have Karen Mills, who's been doing comedy for 25 years. When she was in college, she was an All-American basketball player, and she also led the nation in assists. She was supposed to be here last Saturday. Snow, ice. She couldn't come from Chattanooga. Then the week after that is Shonda Pierce, and everybody, a lot of people know Shonda, and she's coming too. Will be on the porch. Yeah. All of y'all made the trip, so I appreciate it. And then we've lined up for February, Liz Curtis Higgs from Louisville. She'll be on the big screen.
By popular demand.
Of you know her. What'd you say?
By popular demand.
By popular demand. Doesn't that make you feel real good?
Yeah, well, I love her.
And I love Liz
awesome.
too. But we got a couple of others, but they haven't quite firmed up the dates. One's waiting on the other one in February, so we'll get to it. But I just wanted you to know who was coming up. And I'm not going to have all of the things like show and tell that I have this week, because we got too many stories.
Oh, we do.
Things we're going to tell. And we will. Let me start off by telling you who our guest is. Jane Jenkins Herlong. As I said, three names from South Carolina.
Yeah.
What's the name of the place you live now?
Edgefield County, Johnston's teeny.
Just a little bit.
So teeny. Is it 2,500 people, Thomas? Something like that.
Do y'all think she has a Southern accent?
It's got
Maybe
more
Norma
Southern.
Rose will come by in a little while, and then it'll be so Southern in here you won't be able to do anything. But the interesting thing is that Jane Jenkins Herlong was Miss South Carolina in the Miss America pageant. That's the way we say it in the South, the Miss America pageant. 16 years after I was there.
Yeah, yeah.
Because I was Miss North Carolina. We always say y'all are a different class of people down there. But but usually y'all say better class of people. To have to live between South Carolina and Virginia. Oh, I'm going to tell you, we people in North, good thing we have good self-esteem. But 16 years after ours.
Yeah.
And we became friends through the National Speakers Association because both of us, I think you would say, being in a pageant led to a speaking career. Would you say that, Jane?
Definitely. And you blazed the trail, really, because I was
because I'm so much older.
Yeah. No, because you're so good. But people would say to me, do you know Jeanne Robertson, that speaker from North Carolina? I said, oh, yeah, that's Jeanne. Either way, people just knew you so well. You really blazed that trail. You did.
Well, it was interesting, and we've all benefited. So we have to, but the pageant stories, we've laughed about those. We've got some to tell you. And we have your questions that you've been sending, Jane. See, the problem was for me, Jane, I sang for my talent, but they listed it as comedy, and I was singing the best I could. You actually sang for your talk.
Oh, I did. Yeah.
How does, I put up a clip earlier of that last 49 seconds for the national anthem.
Yeah.
And I thought at first that was a blurry clip.
Yeah.
And I thought, why did she put up a blurry clip? And then I realized smoke from the fireworks.
Yeah. I was just glad I didn't choke all, that was a phenomenal event for me, because I had the chance to go to a national convention just to attend, and I chose NSA, and I met Joe Charbonneau, who was the president. So I ended up doing opening with that. I love that song, and that was a thrill. And so many people came up
down the house.
Yeah, well, that was an honor to sing that song, really.
And our careers had been similar, because in 79 they asked me to deliver a keynote at NSA. And really very few people except Patrick's daddy, Robert Henry, knew me. And I said, sure. Of course, Left Brain the whole time was saying, don't go over there and do all that material in front of speakers. Are you nuts? And I said, no, I think this is a good thing. And he couldn't go. And I went. And I also, it was quite exciting. If you can hit a home run in front of all the speaking world,
man.
it helps you. You sure did that.
Well, at least
that
they
day.
didn't think, did you speak for the National Security Administration? Have
I
you
know
ever
it,
gotten
NASA.
that?
No,
I thought, no.
what was it? Somebody said.
We're the ones who talk, not listen.
That's it. I was listening.
Yeah.
Say it again, Patrick.
We're the NSA that talks, not the one that listens.
That's right.
Yeah. That's funny.
Well, the line threw around and I couldn't pull it up. But yeah, it was back when NSA got the National Security Agency got caught with listening in on people. And
Yeah,
we said, we're the ones that talk. It was. But you could really sing. What did you sing for your talent in the Miss America pageant?
I did a vocal medley, and it was The Party's Over. The party's over, and then Send in the Clowns.
Oh my God.
It was a medley. Yeah. Like, isn't it rich? Are we a pair? I love those two songs. And the brilliant Kay Holly, who was a Broadway coach. I remember her great big hands on the piano saying, let's do a medley. And I just loved it. And yeah, I took that to Miss America from Miss South Carolina.
Okay. But see, what they don't understand is where you grew up. And will you please explain? I'll tell you, first thing we have to do is stop. We got to give away prizes.
Okay, let's do prizes.
They're not really here for us, Jane.
I get
They're
that.
here for prizes.
Well, your prizes are really good stuff.
Well,
though,
you
Jenny.
brought some good stuff too. Where'd my bag go? Now, if everybody remembers, we were up into the thousands, 4 or 5 of these bags to the brim. And what we did was New Year's Eve, we dumped all of those and we started over. And so the people in here, you can see it's not as many, but you have a better odds of winning. And then at the end of this month, we're going to do that again. So every month over, you'll have people have a chance. So I'm going to let you draw out a name and say who it is.
All
and
right.
that person will have their choice. This is some prizes from me.
Charlotte Davis Caufelt.
Well, if you can't do better
Charlotte-
than that, I'll read them out myself. Charlotte Davis Caufelt.
You also need to spell it too.
No, she Manetti. She's a speaker. You would think.
Oh,
she
it's
could
an
read.
F. Caufelt.
Okay, well,
it.
Charlotte.
Coffelt.
So that's how many syllables?
Ooh, that was a tough one.
Charlotte
Charlotte,
Davis
you have won
Caufelt.
something. You can choose my book. We're gonna do me this time, which is called "Don't Bungee Jump Naked." Y'all all know about that
That's
and other
good.
important stuff. You cannot choose the one, or you can get any of the 9 DVDs, and you get these things by contacting Tony. Show her in the back room. Tony, can you punch that button, Patrick? Look at this. This
Right
thing-
here.
There's my
Okay.
baby. There's my
Tony.
baby.
And
I'm
there
not
is
your baby.
Thomas. That's Jane Jenkins Herlong's husband hiding over there. Left brain is not here, but there
Do your
he is.
pageant wave, honey.
Yeah,
I taught you.
Sure. And so you got to tell Tony what you want. If you got the book and you want to get one for somebody else, tell us who to sign it for. And if you want a DVD, any CD, any of that kind of stuff, you can tell Tony what you want. All right, draw out another one. Do better
I
than
think
you
I
did
can
last
read
time.
this. I hope it's somebody's last name Smith.
No.
Jeannie, this is thank God, Judy Ellis.
Judy Ellis. you
Judy
can read
Ellis.
that.
She's from Texas.
Okay, well, Judy, you have just won also Tony at JeanneRobertson.com. And I say this every week, but nobody gets it, but I'm going to say it again anyway. Tony ends in an I. Jeannie doesn't have an I. Just Jeannie. Hey, Thomas, looking good. Penny Hunt. Now,
Hey, Penny.
wait, keep the camera on. Keep the camera on, Thomas. In
Yeah,
one
look
of
at
your
that.
stories, you said you didn't win the title of Miss America,
right.
but you took Miss America's
I
boyfriend.
won her
Is that
boyfriend.
true?
That is very true. Isn't it true,
Thomas.
honey?
Thomas.
Yes. Say yes, honey, enthusiastically. Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I asked you, and it seems like you were an eligible bachelor, and every year
Mm-hmm.
for the Christmas parade, they'd bring in Miss America, and you were the escort, and you actually started dating and were going with one of them. You know all about this.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. In fact, we've had Thomas's was engaged before.
Well, hold on for a
too.
second. Is
So
it
they would
fair?
come to
Is
our
it fair to
houses.
say you married an escort?
That's true.
Yes.
Okay.
Escort
I did.
services. Okay. But you were going with the Miss America when
Yep.
you met her, and you broke up with the Miss America and started going with Jane. Is that correct?
Yeah. She got the crown, but I got the ring.
Oh my gosh. He hadn't,
Yes, say
he
yes,
hadn't
honey.
even nodded his head. Do you realize that? Are you left brain, Thomas?
Yeah, well, I would go so far as to say break up, but I just didn't date her anymore.
I think that's a breakup, Thomas.
That's a breakup. All right, and the last gift for right
Yeah.
now, I'll draw something.
Leslie made me stop dating when we got married.
Oh, that's wrong.
All right, here's another winner right here. Brad Ogilvie, Ogilvie. Brad, you get the same choices as the others. We're going to be giving some of your stuff away too. Okay. I'm going to start pulling some questions because maybe they will lead us to some of the fun we've had this weekend. Y'all sent these in and I appreciate it so much. Okay, Jane,
Yes.
the question is, Terry Blackstone, but no E on the end. I'd say Blackston
Mhm.
Rogers.
Mhm.
You're a Columbus College gal like me.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Where is that? Columbus, South Carolina?
No, Columbia College in Columbia, South Carolina. Yes, Columbia College. She's Square Girl. That's my college.
Okay, but they don't play football, do they?
Oh no, they don't. It's an all women's college.
Okay, well, no. Do they play football?
Yeah,
No.
well, we had Ludi Bowl, and I played Ludi Bowl.
What
Miss
is
Ludi
Bowl?
Godbowl. She was an Olympic athlete. It was called the National Federation for Women or something, and she did the shot put.
Okay.
Yeah, and so we call it Ludi Bowl, and she was in her 90s and taught me how to play tennis.
Oh my God.
Yes, she only gives C's, and I was brave, Jean. You gotta be brave, you know.
know it.
And I said, "Hey, Miss Ludi at tennis," I said, "I want to hit with you." I thought, bless her heart, she won't be able to get that ball across the net. She almost took my eye out,
Oh,
but I
yeah.
got a B.
Because
I was brave enough to say, "Miss Ludi, let's play tennis."
Well, you're talking
do
to an
that.
old physical education major here. I like Miss Ludi. I can tell you that.
You'd love her.
But you don't right now, and I think somebody's already got a question here about it. Tony had to cut, my computer went blank, and Tony was cutting up all the questions and trying to get them. But if football is involved,
Mhm.
who do you pull for? They want to
Clemson.
know South Carolina or Clemson.
Tigers, go Tigers! Yeah,
Okay. Well, what happened to them
I wonder. They didn't show up.
They didn't
Apparently,
show up.
they didn't get there.
Well, they've been there. Oh, look at all these questions.
Look, there's my friend Mary Johnston. I love Mary.
Oh, you got your friends calling
right
on.
there, Mary.
All right, let's get another question and see. No, that's the other bowl. Get the questions out of here. And here it is.
Jean, you all over the world. Look at that.
I know, this is wonderful.
Unbelievable. Gosh.
You must know what this means. I thought all the material that I could find on the computer this
Mhm.
week by you. Jane, did you listen to all the interview with the woman in the airport toilet?
As much as I wanted to, then I had to flush.
Was she in the next booth?
I couldn't believe it. You know, this when cell phones were everywhere, and I mean everywhere. And I was in between flights, and I heard, "Yes, hello. Oh, I am. I'm great with paperwork." So I just got a bunch of toilet
She was
paper and
doing
shoved. I shoved it under the stall, and I heard, "Very funny." And I said, "No job is finished till the paperwork is done."
Good for
It was
you.
ridiculous.
All right, Jeannie, have you and Jane known each other long through NSA?
Yeah.
That's the question they put through NSA,
Yeah.
National Speakers.
Yeah.
So 91-ish?
Yeah, because I was supposed to take Caroline, and I talked to Tony, and I asked if I could nurse my baby in your hotel room because Caroline was in Newport. I was passionate.
What year?
91. She was born in 90, but I called y'all up and I said, "I want to come to this convention."
You didn't have a room?
No, I was
Palm Desert?
broke, poor.
New York?
No, it was 1991, or maybe it was 90 because I didn't go until the next year. So what was 90?
And so you came to my room and breastfed the baby?
No, I didn't. I decided not to come to the convention. I said I wasn't ready yet. Child was too little. I just couldn't do that to her.
Okay. You mentioned I was broke and I was poor. Now, I
Speaker
know
poor.
that you believe you brought up in a family rich with heritage and everything else.
Heritage.
But I don't know how you got to the Miss South Carolina pageant.
It was a
and I want them
miracle.
to tell you where you grew up down that road
Mhm.
and what it was.
Yeah, Daddy farmed. My daddy didn't finish the 10th grade. He was a good, honest, hardworking man. And he just renovated a little old tenant house, and it was rough. I mean, it
But
was
where
so
was it?
cold. John's Island, right side of Charleston, which now has just exploded. And so we lived there. Mom and Daddy did for about 20 years, and Daddy had a good year on the farm. That's how it worked. And then they bought a beautiful piece of land about 2 miles down the road and built a brick house.
You just said a boat.
Boat. Did I say boat?
About
You said a boat.
About. Oh, yeah.
No, it's okay.
A
You-
boat.
you
That's
keep-
my
You do you.
that's my Charleston coming through.
Yep.
A
That's
boat.
right.
So that was it. But I just always loved watching Miss America. And I love watching I thought it's everything I'm not, but I want to be. So how do I become? So I started taking voice lessons, went to college, couldn't get in.
Where
A lot
could
of
you
colleges.
take voice lessons on John's Island?
Well, I started going to a high school down at First Baptist in town. And I went to First Baptist and I learned of a vocal coach. And so I started studying voice then. And it just kind of grew. I had no idea I could really sing. I love to sing. And so that's when I went to Columbia College.
Yeah, but
and
see,
had a
I love to sing too, and there's two differences. What comes out of your mouth and what comes out of mine.
But Jeannie, of course, you're brilliant with your everything.
You
Your
don't
humor.
have to try to gloss that over.
No, I mean,
because you can really sing.
I can sing. I'm glad.
Well, you didn't get in the top 10 either, did you?
You know what? I was in the top 13. They told me that. That didn't matter though.
Was that a thing, or did you just hit 13?
I made it a thing.
I finished.
You had to be close.
I finished 11th.
No way.
You're right.
Dang it.
This was a piece of material. I said I didn't get in the top 10, and I was 49th out of 50th. This is old material. I used to say I was so much better than this girl who could play the comb for her talent. This is the material I was right. And
Listen,
then I
you
would
could
say,
win today.
Actually, I said I finished 11th. They named the top 10, and the rest of us went back in the dressing room and we discussed it. And who do you think came in strong for 11th place? And the people were laughing. I'd do it again the next night.
Well, let me just say the difference in Miss
13.
America now and then is you could probably play the comb and win.
I know.
These days it's gotten so different, terribly different.
But one of the questions that'll float up is what's the difference in pageants today? And we're not going to do all pageants, but when you speak and when Thomas speaks, it's like speaking to people in Virginia that's toward the coast. A different accent comes out sometimes, like a boat. The host.
Yeah.
Okay.
Host.
And you also speak a language from John Island.
Yeah.
Is it called John Island? Or John's
with an S. John's Island. Yeah.
Is there an apostrophe?
We had one, but that's too fancy.
I know.
They said,
So
take
just
out
John
that thing,
Island.
whatever that little mark is.
It's a waste of
Get
ink.
rid of it.
A waste of ink and pencil lead. So Gullah.
Gullah, yeah. Was raised on Gullah. My granddaddy spoke it fluently. And what it is, thank goodness, is being revived at Harvard. And the gentleman that's teaching it is to Harvard, the big Harvard, and they are teaching Gullah because the language is dying. And so it is what they say, Creole, French, English, British is all mashed
But
together.
they were over on that island.
Right,
So
and
they weren't talking to the other people.
Well, they weren't. They had their own language, but my granddaddy was fluent. I mean, he could really speak it like you wouldn't believe. My daddy spoke it. I can understand it completely. It's a
Can
real
you
art
speak
form.
some of it?
Well, Daddy came in from middle day dinner, had big meals for farmers, and he was laughing. It was the stressful time of year. Daddy had 3 weeks to make a living on the farm. Now, can you imagine? But he came in and he was chuckling. We're glad to see him laugh a little bit. He said, "I tell you what, James put a cussing on me." I said, "What you mean, Daddy?" He said, "Mr. Benjamin, you make me so mad. When you shut your eye for the last time, I gonna tell them peoples to bury you up under 8 feet deep. That way, when Gabriel blow the horn, you be the last one up."
Okay. and sometimes I've been around people that speak Gullah. It's so thick I can't understand them. Because you said bury you down 8 feet.
Oh, I have a Gullah Bible too. Molly
You
Beck.
have a Bible in
Oh
Gullah?
yeah. Oh yeah. Jesus.
You telling me Jesus and God speak Gullah?
Yes. True. I mean, there's a Gullah Bible. It is
Because
really
if you
good.
speak Gullah, somebody has taken the Bible and
Yes.
interpreted it into Gullah.
Yes. I'll get you one.
You know what?
It's interesting. You probably can't understand it, but I'll get you one.
Is it like Cajun?
It kind of is. A lot of people say, "Oh, is that New Orleans?" I said, "No, sweetie, that's Low Country, South Carolina stuff." Yeah, John's
Wow.
Island.
So did they ask you a question in the Miss America pageant?
Thank God, no. I would have froze up. How about you?
I didn't get in the top 10.
Oh, sorry.
And I didn't finish 13th either. So there you go. But
No.
no, wouldn't that have been funny if you answered in Gullah? And did they ask you a question in the Miss South Carolina pageant?
We didn't do that there either.
Well,
We
that's
didn't
one
do
of the
that.
big differences. I had to answer questions.
What was yours?
That there were two. I lied on the first one, and
Okay.
the second one I think I won with. They said because I played the ukulele for my talent and all that, but it was not good. And they said, "What would you do?" Now remember, this is 1963,
Mm-hmm.
and it said, "What would you do if you were on an airplane and Elvis came in and sat down next to you?" I said, "I would pull out my ukulele and play him one of my songs." And to this day, people will come up and say, "I heard you say that about Elvis." Because, by the way, Elvis, if he were alive,
Mm-hmm.
his birthday's, I think, this
Yeah,
week.
January.
No, that's January, April.
Mm-hmm.
Then I was on Neil Steele's radio show yesterday, and I'll tell you whose birthday was this week. Betty White.
Yeah, she's
99
She's
years
phenomenal.
old. Anyway.
The Elvis of the West.
The what?
The Elvis of the West.
Elvis of the West.
That's good,
I tell you.
Patrick.
So Elvis was really hot, and that helped me. The first one I made up something and lied, and they thought that was good too. And
What was the second one? You remember?
the question was, other than your father
Oh,
or
okay.
mother,
Mm-hmm.
who do you most admire in your life? That
Oh,
was the question.
Who'd you say?
I looked right in that camera and I said, I think you can't really admire people from afar if you don't really know them, like famous people or presidents.
Yeah.
Or, you don't really know them.
Mm-hmm.
But there was a boy on campus at Elon that's blind. At Auburn who's blind.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw that person for 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
Go to classes and punch out his notes and this kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I would say I admired him more than anybody.
That's good.
Yeah, but it wasn't about the.
But it was not true.
Wait a minute.
I know
That wasn't true.
great answer. And then I lived in fear for 1 year. They were going to say, "We want to know the boy's name." What happened was that the question was, what man? Now I remember, was what man other than your father do you admire the most?
I'm sitting here about to cry. I'm sitting about to cry, and I'm thinking that's so
Give
sweet.
me a chance to tell you. I was the sweet mate of a young woman who was blind, and she had been to Talladega School, somewhere like that. And she came to Auburn, and she punched out. And we had to keep the bathroom between the two rooms perfectly straight because she could not see it. But see, that's what popped into my mind, how much I admired her, but she wasn't male. But I just made her male and answered the question. And then I lived in fear that some newspaper reporter was going to say, "We want to do a feature story on the young man." What'd you say, Tony?
Make sure you all keep your mics up close.
Sorry.
Apparently, some of them are
Who's
having
not
trouble.
talking?
Oh, that's
So-
probably me.
Both
Okay.
of you.
I got
Both
so
of you.
tickled.
Well, I know it would have been good. All right, let's ask another question.
Can I tell you my funniest pageant question I ever asked a girl on the pageant?
Oh, I love it.
Serious now. We in there, top of the interview. Got 7 minutes.
Oh,
And-
you were in, were you
Well, I was
judging?
judging. I was
Okay.
judging this time. Other side of the table. And I said, "Do you have any special talents?" She said, "I do. I can write with my right hand and I can write with my left hand. I am amphibious."
Okay. No. And
And then the judge next to me, we were about to go crazy. He wrote on a piece of paper, "I wonder if she has webbed feet and swimsuit."
No,
I thought,
no,
"Oh my
no.
gosh." But anyway, those kinds of things. You got to sit there for 6.5 minutes.
I know you judged a lot of pageants, and I don't like to judge the pageants.
Didn't
I
you
wanna
judge Miss
be-
America one time?
I
though?
judged Miss America 3 times.
You did.
That's a different
Wow.
thing. You're on TV there. I want to be
Yeah.
on TV.
I remember because you said to me, "What am I going to remember? I'm just worried about what do I wear." You said that.
Well, you had to be there 9 days, and you had to have at least 18 outfits because you had to be dressy at night. And
Good
and that's
heavens.
when I started working with Jane Tucker because I didn't have anything to, I just didn't have it. And then I got my stuff. Why are you looking in
Because
the
this
kitchen?
beautiful woman
Well,
is
Norma
here.
Rose is here.
I have
Come
always
in.
wanted to meet you.
Yeah,
Hey.
the people from out of the South are going, did she just say I have always wanted to meet you? Norma, come here. I got a chair for you.
You
Sit
look
right here.
beautiful.
Norma Rose.
Oh, you look wonderful.
She looks great. Norma, your foot's
I
around
feel
that
like
cord.
Don't
that
trip.
cord.
I feel
Here.
like I'm meeting a
Wait,
star.
Norma, move this chair. Patrick, can you help her up?
I just hate to interrupt.
No, please
No.
do.
Now, we got other questions besides pageant. Sit down. Take your coat off and stay a while, Norma Rose.
Well, I didn't plan to take it off. She's got on her
I
jacket.
know, keep it
But
on.
I could, but
whatever, if you want
I
one.
believe I'll just keep.
Are
on
we
what I-
gaining listeners and viewers, or are we losing them fast? We're talking about
Oh, I
pageant.
was going to sit at the table.
No, don't you know a Miss South
Look at there.
Carolina?
Oh, yes, I do.
And she went to.
Clemson.
Oh, yeah, that's Allie Rogers.
But I don't really know
Oh,
her.
she's
but She has
beautiful.
my heart because I followed her for so long.
She's
And she
precious.
worked with the athletic department. And
I just love her.
gorgeous girl.
Unbelievable.
And her faith and her.
Oh, she's wonderful.
Well, she's
Beautiful.
second runner up to Mr.
She's
Miracle.
first, wasn't she? First
She was
runner-up?
first runner up.
Yeah.
A breath away.
Uh-huh.
And that
Should
dress.
anything happen?
Oh,
If the winner falls over dead, we will bring you the crown. So, but you told me the minute when I told you she was coming, you
I
said,
said,
"Oh,
I followed her. And, she has a little baby now.
yes. And her husband is a hunk, honey.
And then
Whoa, he's
but
cute.
he went to the University of South
He
Carolina.
did. Wills.
I'm trying to get over
Fauntleroy. His last name is Fauntleroy.
Oh, right.
I told her to name her
Fauntleroy.
child Little Lord, but she didn't
No.
listen to me. Little Lord Fauntleroy.
Well, y'all carry on. I
No,
won't
well, no,
listen
you
to
help
him.
us. We got these good questions that my people have
Well,
sent
can I
in.
tell what I've been doing?
Sure,
I've
why
been-
not?
Just a second. I've been cleaning out my kitchen drawers and making major decisions like, do I get rid of this rolling pin? And then I'm thinking I'm never going to use it again. But I'm going to get my husband's attention.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm going to keep
Yeah.
it.
Keep it.
You're throwing away things like rolling pins?
Well, everything's a decision. I have to make a major decision.
Rolling pins, they're hard to find. I'd keep that,
I-
whether you hit him or not.
I'm
or
going to.
threaten.
I'm going to keep it.
I keep
I'm gonna put
They're
that
hard to
one down.
find.
Some people.
Caroline, my
people-
daughter was looking for a rolling pin. I said, I
now I'm
don't
going
know
to sit
where
here
to.
quietly
No,
and just listen.
you never
Okay.
said anywhere quietly in your life. Tony, I can barely read. What I do is I take the font and make it like 2 or 3 sizes bigger.
I didn't know how it was going to print.
Okay.
I'd never done that before. So it's small. And I was doing that quickly, if you
Okay.
recall.
This is Paula Hoffman. I did not get to answer this last week, Paula, but I wrote you and answered it. I see your point, but here's the question. It just came in. I'm still hoping I will get the answer. Jeannie, live, and that's in all caps, from the back porch. What's the alternative of live on the back porch? Well, my answer to you was you could be dead, just sitting there. People will prop you up just to sell a few books. Bring me out here, prop me up. But I guess I mean, you could be filmed, you could be taped, you could show an old show of yours, you could show all YouTube clips. Well, so what's happening right now is what's on the show. So I hope that answers your question, Paula, but I see what you mean. I do see what you mean. Sometimes it takes a while, but I get to the questions. All right, here's this one. Tony, you got a question? I see your hand fluctuating over there.
No, but I believe we could make some money. People want to bid on Norma's rolling pin.
I see that. Somebody's so far. You got
I can deal. I
Well,
got it.
you got $10.
Right now,
You
we're up to
already
10.
thrown it
I don't know if
away?
we
No, I've looked at it for several days, and now I'm not throwing it away.
If your heart is attached to the rolling
I thought of a lot of, we don't, anyway, I won't go deep into it, but I need it for protection.
from Alan, I would doubt it.
Anybody that touches my front door.
All right, here's the questions. All right, we will answer why we did enter, and you can answer why you did not. Says Jeannie and Jane, you maybe have told this. Why did you enter the Miss North Carolina pageant, Jeannie? And why did you enter the Miss South Carolina pageant, Jane? And who was your biggest supporter? And it would be, why didn't you enter, Norma Rose?
I grew up on a farm and we hadn't heard about it. We had never heard, I
You
had
didn't
never
heard about the pageant.
I
I got
hadn't
it.
heard of any of
Mhm.
this.
Well, this is from Janice Moss. Now, I had a Janice Moss in my high school class, but I think she would say we were in the same high school class. So why did you enter the Miss South Carolina pageant?
Well, I could sing and I wanted to help my daddy help me and I wanted to go to college and I wanted to go to graduate school. And so I just kept on and, to buy wardrobe stuff when we had festivals and you didn't really have to be a Miss whatever. You could just enter. So it was a way to help my daddy help me pretty much. And then I just sort of wanted to up my game, like if I had not, I would never have met you. You see what I'm saying? I wouldn't have met Thomas. I mean, he'd be sad.
The road and y'all sell them. Wait a minute.
Well, no, but see, Thomas would have been married to Miss America and been miserable.
He used to
But-
date a Miss America when she met
So
her.
I saved
He was an
him.
escort.
He was my
an
escort.
service.
So
But-
it was a way to be better.
All right, let me ask you a question.
Mhm.
How much scholarship money did you? It's the largest. I'm not pageant pushing. I
Yeah.
promise you, I don't dwell on this much unless I'm with somebody who is,
Mhm.
but it's the largest scholarship foundation for women in the world.
Yes.
How much scholarship money did you get?
Total, probably about 7,000 total with all the festival money and all of that, which was good. I sent myself to graduate school and then made some spending money, that kind of thing. So it was
Okay.
good. How about you now? Why'd you
I
enter?
got Miss Congeniality got me another 1,000, I think.
That's good.
And everybody in the Miss America got 2,000. So
Yeah.
that was 63. That was a lot of money.
Yeah.
And then Miss North Carolina and Miss Graham. I was Miss Graham too.
Mhm.
You got a scholarship. Everybody got a scholarship. I paid my last 2 years to Auburn. I'm not going to say that Mother and Daddy wouldn't have paid.
Mhm.
Daddy said the night I won, he said, well, she got to drop out of school for a year. We got to buy these clothes. And she's got that scholarship money. I say we'll come out behind. And he was probably right. Y'all should have had TV on the farm in Reedsville.
I didn't know much what that was going on, but now I'm thinking I wish I hadn't been in it. Y'all,
Look, we went into
y'all
speaking.
prospered.
We prospered. We did
I had to
prosper.
wait to get to college.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I was glad to go.
I was farm girl too. And so, it was hard.
What did you raise?
Daddy raised tomatoes and cucumbers and soybeans
And we
and
had,
cabbage when we were broke.
And
we
what'd you
had
raise?
tobacco,
Oh, sure.
Oh, well, that'll
Yeah.
do.
big tobacco.
Oh, this is tough right here. This is not just pageants. This is generations. You'll fit in on this, Norma Rose.
Okay.
Hi, Melissa Dameron. Melissa Dameron, thank you. We're not drawing for prizes now. These are the questions, but y'all get thrown back into the prizes box. Hi from Indianapolis. My question for you, pageant winners. How have pageants changed since you were involved? If you were young ladies now, would you still want to participate with the way the pageants are currently run? Okay, take it away, Jane.
Well, it used to be, Jeannie, when you were in it, I told you this last night, y'all were movie stars overnight. That's true. I mean, y'all were like,
there were
it was-
only 3 TV channels in the world, so people saw it.
well, now I was on the little tiny bit. I got a little taste of it. But today it is so different. And I actually don't know. There has changed so much. They don't do the swimsuit. Now, see, I think swimsuit, that's courage. It's not necessarily your body, but I ran up and down the dirt road behind the tractors and the combines trying to get into shape.
Jane, hold on for a second. It is your body. So go ahead.
Thank you, Patrick.
Chauvinist.
But I was proud of myself for walk. How'd you feel about wearing a swimsuit?
That was the only thing I thought I could win. I was a water safety instructor trainer, and I worked at a swimming pool when I won. And, I'm thinking, well, I can get some points there. I won't get any in talent. Maybe I better do well in the interview. I just wanted to be in it. But I will tell y'all, they had the 75th. You might have remembered Norma Rose because it was an ordeal. I had to get all my clothes ready. They had the 75th anniversary of the Miss North Carolina pageant. And 2 things happened. I was sitting next to Elaine Herndon, who had been Miss North Carolina and was at Duke when Left Brain was at Duke, and he thought she was absolutely beautiful. She was the daughter, I think, of a professor, but she was sitting next to me. Oh, there's my picture. Who Richie did that?
Can't see it yet. Can't see it yet.
But Oh, okay. Put it up. But the bras were different. Look at the pointy bosoms.
That's
I know
dangerous.
you don't do that. You don't have the picture up, or you do. Why did you just have it to remind me? You tried to scare
I'm
me.
trying to pull it up.
Okay.
Just keep talking.
So as they came out in swimsuit, very tiny bikinis. Lane had not been to the pageant, and I had been back several times. I give a scholarship, and she just there you are. She pushed my elbow off the chair thing, and she said, "My mother would have never let me flaunt out here in a bikini like that. I mean, they were little bitty swimsuits.
Look like diapers.
But I got on the elevator at that 75th anniversary, and 2 people got on the elevator with me. One was a recent former Miss North Carolina. They all came back for the 75th, if you were alive.
Yeah.
You know, we lost some.
Okay, you ready?
Oh, you're going to do this?
Drum roll.
Are you gonna, oh, gosh.
Jeannie, that is gorgeous. Where did you
But
get your?
look at your bosoms. They don't do that anymore. They were pointed, and now they mash down,
Yeah.
but you can take it off.
I was 13 before I realized the boob didn't look like
I
that.
know. They don't look. Oh, look at
Oh,
you.
Yeah.
how pretty.
You look so pretty.
Yeah, I got that.
And could see.
I had some eyeshadow drawn in certain places to look better.
Okay, the cleavage. Do
Yeah.
you see the cleavage?
That's what I'm
I
telling
was
you.
going to tell you.
That's
All right,
eyeshadow.
now, look at her cleavage.
That is not a pointed bosom.
No,
No.
this is up here. The girls, when we were there, you pushed everything up, and you had to try to have a little cleavage up here.
Yeah.
So we got on the elevator at the 75th anniversary. This just tells you what has changed. And a woman my age got on, somebody's mother or grandmother, and a recent Miss North Carolina got on. And I just went like this because first she mashed the button, and then she turned around, and we saw her in the front. And it went a gown that started here and went into a V all the way down to her waist. The cleavage was pushed here. And I'm thinking, how does she hold that in place? Well, I don't understand how she do it, but of course, trying to be funny. As we ride down, I said, your gown is just gorgeous. And you're not going to believe it. I almost bought the same one, but so the older woman she just had to turn in the corner of the elevator. She was laughing so hard, and it went right over her head. She said it would have looked good on you. I said, with the cleavage way down here. So that was a little different. But things have changed.
Well,
You don't
that was
wanna
more
sound
USA when I was in it.
Miss
That
US.
look, and I never could have done that. Lord of mercy.
Well, it was fun, but I did what they said do. I had more fun than you was allowed. If you go in it for that purpose, it works. All right, let's get another question. We'll give. And Patrick, you know what? When y'all were sitting out here, what are these two together? When y'all were sitting out here a while ago, and I said, "What are you going to play?" And you told me what you were going to play. And I said to y'all, I wish the two of y'all could sing something together.
Ooh.
And right away, you named a song, and y'all sang it and harmonized. And I and Thomas, you were sitting here. Tony, had you come in then?
No, I had not.
Well, they just went into harmony. So are you going to come over here, Patrick?
How can
Well,
you?
why don't we do that song towards the end? And,
Okay.
And that way Norma didn't have to get up.
Okay.
I'll be
Okay.
glad to.
No, okay. But do you want to sing a song by yourself?
Sure.
Okay. Because she's a farm girl and she's a farm girl.
Why?
I grew up in the big city of Graham, North Carolina. Mother, while he sets up, Mother, where are you going? No, he's going to sit there, Norma.
Just later.
Plan
We
it.
changed our format.
Did anybody else's mother do this? Planted all around our house, cabbage instead of bushes. Did you put?
We didn't do that. We had a lot of them in our garden, but she
But
didn't
that
do that.
mother said the cabbage can be the bush.
Yes.
And so she didn't have any bushes. And so she had bushes, they died. So she put in cabbage. Okay, you going to sing about?
But we would have eaten it.
That was for the
That's
whole
it.
purpose. We were supposed to go out there. We didn't have to make it. Look, what is
I
it?
got a little college friend, Beverly Butchington. Hey, girl, talking about Miss Ludi Godbowl, the one that Shock
Oh,
put.
yeah.
Yeah, we love
Yeah.
Miss Ludi. That's funny.
Nan Walker.
Where's that?
Y'all should do a 2-hour show. It's gone.
Oh, there it is.
Where'd it go?
It's hidden.
Y'all should do a 2-hour show. Lisa
Tennis
Henderson, Norma
class.
Rose, they were saying about you.
Oh, they said you
Well,
look
y'all are
great.
still saying you have to have talent, so I couldn't have been in it.
No.
Now you could have.
You
You could
got
just sit there and look good.
I just hadn't discovered it.
Well,
Did
But-
somebody
but-
win playing the cups?
Yes.
somebody won playing red solo cups. And
I
I
know.
said,
Yeah,
well,
she was darling. I really liked
She
her.
really was.
She's
Oh,
precious. And then somebody
So
did a
you-
science experiment last time.
Yeah, you can find the talent.
Yeah, you can do
We'll
that.
find your
a
talent.
science experiment.
Yes, you remember she-
working
You
on it.
wonder
I
why
tell
the
you.
ratings are going down.
No.
and you know, there was a nurse that stood there and just did a monologue about being a nurse. And I mean, she was in the top 10, but it was beautiful about caring for people. You know, they're the heroes now. They really
They should
are.
be.
They should be. They're on the front lines, risking their lives to help
But
others.
years
too.
ago, there was a Miss America. You wouldn't probably, but it was when AIDS was such a problem.
Yeah.
Not that it isn't still now if you have it, but it was a real problem. And she was a nurse who chose to work with AIDS
Mhm.
people. And she was not only talented and everything else, when she answered her question, talked about it, and they found out who she was.
Mhm.
The judge's interview is very important. as you
That to
know.
me wins it.
Wins it or loses
It's
it.
yep.
Okay. All right. That's one more. So what's the main difference between your year and my year?
Did you want me to say?
Oh, yeah. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
It's your turn, Patrick. It's
Sometimes you
your
gotta
turn.
stand up for yourself.
I know.
Well,
Okay.
since we
Go
were
ahead.
Doing since Jane was talking about being a farm girl and Norma Rose came from a farm, Jeannie asked me to do my song Jesus and John Deere that I wrote.
I love this.
Well, Bill Jackson was the hardest working man I'd ever known. 6 days to find him out there in between the rows. Sundays he laid down the plow, and after church he'd rest. And he thanked the Lord for giving him the things he loved the best. Like his family and his favorite dog, a T-bone steak cooked rare, tractor and his pickup truck, well-worn rocking chair. 3 old friends he's counted on to help him through the years. That's Jesus Christ, Hank Williams, and John Deere. Well, I don't expect I'm ever gonna fill Bill Jackson's shoes, and I ain't sure that he'd agree to everything I do. All the things he taught me still go with me down the line. Oh, and as I look around me, I feel Grandpa by my side. In my family and my favorite dog, this T-bone steak cooked rare, tractor and a pickup truck, his old rocking chair. 3 old friends I'm counting on to help me through the years. That's Jesus Christ, Hank Williams, and John Deere. That's Jesus Christ, Hank Williams, Earl Haggard, and the Possum, Johnny Cash, Wade Jennings, and John Deere.
I love that.
Whoa,
I always
Patrick.
love that.
One of my favorites. You have about 45 that you've written. I know you write one every week if you want to, but I love that one.
Thank you.
I do love that one. But Norma Rose, you see this plant behind me on stage?
Yes,
You know where I got it?
I gave it to you
And why did you give it to me?
because I thought you could keep it, and that I told Ryder that when in 40 years he could have it, it would be a tree. And Ryder's looking forward to it.
Well, when Tony's husband, Patrick's father-in-law, comes over here, he always says, I don't want to sit next to one of those trees because there's now one in that corner and over here.
Ryder's excited.
But you told me you were bringing this plant to stay on the porch during winter, and then you would get it back. That was 7 years ago, and it's time for you to
My
take
mind is failing me. I don't remember that.
You are lying. You are lying through your teeth. Yes,
Well,
It
you
seems
are.
like we're going to have to have it in
No,
writing.
it's not just your mind, because I got a ticket the other day when we were
Oh,
dropping my son's
gosh.
jacket.
Oh
college.
boy.
Oh, no.
Well, the police officer pulled up and said, your license is expired. I said, well, no, it's not. It just, the sticker fell off because I called and made sure I was up to date. He said, no. I said, just check. He's already did, sir. Last time you renewed this car was 2018. Leslie said, you didn't renew since 2018. So it's not just your mind.
We did that once going through South Carolina. A
Mm.
nice man pulled us, and we just felt horrible that we weren't being good stewards of the rules of the land. We were totally embarrassed. But anyway, we got over it, and I'm still driving a car.
But
People want to know what your necklace is.
It's a
Oh,
Clemson tiger, isn't it, Jenny?
no, it is not.
Absolutely
This
not.
is an Auburn tiger. But people think that flight attendants thinks a bear. But Jean Mann gave us this.
Yes,
and
our
she said,
fellow
I want you to
Auburn
have,
person
she's
here.
a fellow Auburn. She said, I want you to have this. And because you went to Auburn, and I did too. And I scared her. And y'all, Patrick, can you get real close? It looked like a bear. And I hated to say to her, that's a bear. That's not a tiger. And then I realized the bear has it's a tiger cub with little stripes and a little tail that's striped too. But you know, and I know that if the Baylor Bears kept the stripes off, the same place could make it for them and cut the tail off and send it to them. So then the one she gave me turned a funny color, Tony. Remember, it turned a funny color. And I said, my neck is, every time I wear it, something's funny about it. And she said that you can get them on eBay. Get another one. I got on eBay. This thing has rhinestones. Can you see it? Rhinestones?
Oh, they had them.
Cute. Every flight attendant mentions it. And that was less than $7, and they're still on there. And I brought and wore it today because y'all are such big Clemson fans.
Yeah, thank
and
you.
Norma Rose
And I didn't
is
even
too.
know that. We got some things to
Oh,
talk about.
yes.
But
And we are going to play basketball at 2. Auburn plays Kentucky today.
Okay.
too. We'll be off. What time is it now?
You're good. You're
Okay.
good. We'll make the game.
Okay.
Yeah, we
Well,
do.
here's another question. Let me get the questions, and then we're going to give away some Jane Jenkins Herlong. 3 names, Jane Jenkins Herlong.
I'm just
And
going
a
with
fan.
Jane.
Okay. Jane.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Okay.
This is from one of the clips I put up
Right. right.
this week about you.
Mhm.
You were giving a speech to the future farmers of America.
Yep.
And you told about a young woman who was in a pageant. She says, Jane, did the girl win the pageant?
Mm-hmm.
And also, were you a member? You said you were a farm girl.
Mm-hmm.
You a member of FFA in high school?
I was not, because it was not for women back then. They did not allow
Mhm.
women, and I would have been. Now Thomas was the state president or vice president one time. Officer. Yeah.
You went from president to vice president.
Well, still Thomas. They just don't go there. You know, I couldn't do. He has to be
How
correct.
many
right.
times did I tell Left Brain if it doesn't sound
Yeah,
exactly right, leave it alone?
Yeah.
And
They
yeah.
pay you for financial help. They pay me for stories and Jeannie too. You see,
okay.
and Norma Rose too. But yeah, the girl, I don't know. The judge that told me that was Dick Schiller from Illinois. Told me about the girl who milked a cow in the pageant, Miss Illinois pageant. And the cow went crazy and she milked it. They thought she's going to do a classical musical rendition because she put it on the little form. And she got up there and grabbed her instruments. You know, their teats. That's a
Yeah.
word. That's okay.
That's okay.
And she said, and she went da na 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 music squirt squirt squish squish da na 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 squish squish.
Maybe.
He had little dents in the pail and it would make sounds. But then the photographer took his Nikon flash and bam 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 bam, and the cow went ma, and everything just went south. But she
Tail
still
went up.
yeah, but she still wanted to do it again, and that is the point of the story. To keep on trying to be and do your absolute best when things fall apart.
Was
And a
it
good
Normal,
message
Illinois?
in Normal, Illinois? Maybe I made that part up.
Maybe
Yeah.
abnormal.
You got to
Yeah.
be careful about making up their sounds because then people will say it didn't
Mhm.
happen here.
Yeah,
But
but that's
it-
a true story. And I always said, did she win? In my opinion, she did.
Okay. Gloria, this question was asked by Gloria R. Hubbard. Another person, we're going through the questions as fast as we can, wrote and said, this was a perfect story for me to put up this week that you were telling
Mhm.
because FFAs, they just had all the competition. And for a lot of kids, this is their social activity.
Yes.
And they can't do it. It's viral. You got to bring your cow inside to go by the TV, I guess.
Can you believe that? Those
It's
poor
just the way it
kids.
is. And this says Gloria R. Hubbard. And then she says, from a neighbor to your north, from Sawmills, North Carolina. Have you ever heard of Sawmills, North Carolina?
No.
I haven't either.
But at one time, I thought I lived in there because
Well,
we had a sawmill.
We can
Two.
hear it. Got it. So, okay. This is going to be some prizes. And this is Jane. You are also an author. Let me get
Yeah.
all this up here. Holy cow. You
I
have
know.
been, is it prolific?
Yeah, just drag a dollar bill. I'll just go after it. You know what I'm saying?
This is not yours. This is mine. We're going to give that away in a minute. That's my audiobook thing that's now also downloadable. So here's a CD, Don't Throw Tomatoes at My Field of Dreams.
And that's the cow stories in that with
Is
the
that-
squish, 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 squish.
Okay.
Yeah, that one.
And this one is
That was in High
Bury
Point.
Me with My Pearls.
Yeah, that's a fun
love
speech
that.
I did at High Point.
These are all speeches.
No, that's
Um,
singing. That's singing. Yeah.
Jane Jenkins Herlong. Okay.
I
you're
did that
just
for my
singing.
daddy because he loved big band music. It's got
Okay.
stuff like
One more
"This can't be
CD.
love."
Jane Jenkins Herlong. You can't make this stuff up.
That's off Sirius. That's just comedy.
Okay. And then these books. The first book you wrote was
Mhm.
Bare Feet to High Heels.
You don't have to be a beauty queen to be a beautiful person, but we know that's not true.
No. That is not,
That's so
terrible.
wrong.
You can imagine how much. Oh, Jane Jenkins, what tatas teach us. And your tatas are your bosoms.
Yes, as an analogy on your anatomy. I think it's a little clever.
I helped her write that book.
You,
Yeah. But the but
It's
I
for
think
breast
you
cancer.
put
I
in
give-
for breast cancer.
yeah, I
and
give money to breast cancer from proceeds for that
and
little
it's,
Tata book.
It's pink.
Yes.
And that's
It's
that's
sweet.
good. And then this one is Bury Me with My Pearls.
That's my heart book because of my
And
mama.
Did you bury your mama with her pearls?
She said, my grandmother said, bury me with my pearls. And then I thought that's a great title for a
Yeah.
book, you know. And then I started writing it. Mama got sick and it wasn't funny. And then when she passed away, I kind of got my funny back a little bit.
You
These
know-
things happen.
Our grandmother died, and mother and daddy had already died, and my two sisters and I were in Luverne, Alabama, in the funeral home, and we asked if we could stay in the room with her just a few more minutes
Mhm.
because the casket was open and they're getting ready to have the funeral. And we looked down, and she had on a ruby ring. And- oh, y'all!
I'm scared. I'm
It
scared
was
where this
awful.
is going to go.
It was awful. It was myself, Jeannie, Catherine, my older sister, and Andrea, our little sister, who's since passed away. And he said, wait a minute. Look on her finger. Is that her ruby ring? And they said, yes. And all three of us at the same time turned and looked at the door. and then somebody said, then this is not fair to funeral home people because we have the best people here, I will guarantee you. But somebody said, you don't know it's going to really get buried. They might take it. And
That
I
is
said,
true.
Now, but now the funeral people I know, I can guarantee you they
Good
don't do that. But we said, and then Andrea said, I'm going to take it off. So
Mhm.
we're not burying her. She would not. This is what you always say. She would not want us to do that. So she got up, and y'all, this is awful. Her fingers were so stiff. She's and can't get up. She stood on the bottom of the casket thing and was wrenching her arm. And they said, "Go to the door. Don't let anybody." Catherine goes to the door and is looking up and down the hall. And then finally, I said, "This is our grandmother and her ring. Why are we like we've stealing from a bank?" But we got that ring off and then folded her hand. Her fingers wouldn't move. It was awful because she'd been dead 2 or 3 days. We had to get there. And so I'm sorry.
Who has
but
the now? Who has
I wanna
the
know
ring?
who
now?
has
You
the
don't
ring.
know.
I did not.
I want to know who has the ring.
Yeah,
That's what
Andrea got the ring. She said, I wrenched it off her finger. You're not getting it out of my
Whoever
pocket.
licked the finger got
I
the
know.
ring.
So that's why I asked, did you bury? And then
No, bless
in
her
my
heart.
sorority, there's a thing that you say that you will be buried
Mhm.
in your pen.
Mhm.
And it had pearls and things all in it, little things. And they were very expensive. We
Mhm.
got that pen. And so I went to the national convention. They were giving me an award, and I went to the national convention and got it and everything. And they were going over the rules, and they said, and don't forget, you need to be buried in your pens. And I'm thinking, we got to dig mama up and put that pen that I wore today to this convention back in the casket with. I'm sorry. That's awful to say. All right.
But no,
where
she
are
was
we?
not buried in her pearls. In fact, I got them, and I'm
You
not
got
going
'em.
to tell how I got them. No, really.
No.
She's lucky she got away with her drawers.
Okay, well, y'all get what time is it now? Okay, I'm going to give away this. Okay, this is my latest thing. So we're pushing this because Patrick gets a percentage.
Yes, he does.
And
I
they have
don't
to
have on too
sing.
much rouge today.
Yeah.
I know it. I'm sorry, but this is what.
Nothing. But did you give any of Jane's away? You didn't draw any names. You just told us who.
And remember the
what her
rhinestone.
books
That's
were.
funny. That
Well,
rhinestone book.
Okay, the third one, Norma picked it up out of my lap. Rhinestones on my flip flop.
Yes, that's a
No,
funny
I
little
did
book.
not give them away. So
Oh,
let me
okay.
give some of those away. This is for Jane's books or CDs. You have any DVDs?
I have
You said
one. I didn't
CDs.
bring it though, but I could send
The
it.
winner is Linda Bice, Bice, has won one of these books. Linda Bice. All right, I'm going to go down in here again. I look this way because y'all will say you were looking in the bag. Yeah, these are funny people. I love them. Okay, from Hayden, Alabama. Where's that, Patrick?
South of here. South of here.
Oh, south
Yeah,
of
thank
here.
you, Patrick.
Edna Earl Gibson, Gipson, Edgeworth. See, if you've been in pageants, a lot of times you get 4 names.
Mhm.
Edna Earl Gibson Edgeworth. And you know why that name is that long? Because originally her name was Edna Earl Gibson.
Mhm.
And she had tagged him on there too. All right. She has won one of them. And now another one. You just choose what you want and we'll send it to you. And see, I'm going to go around in here. Keep
just
holding
glad
the
to
books
have a
up,
place to
Norma.
share.
Look, Norma Rose is learning how to
I'm
be
learning.
a marketer.
Yes.
She's got the books facing
She's a
out.
merch mistress.
She's
Yes.
a
We'll take it.
what were those? What were those funny stories we said we were going to tell today? I can't get it all right. Okay.
You know, we don't have to stop at one. We can go
Elaine
We're good because it's
Mason.
after one.
Elaine
Or
Mason.
almost.
You win one of these too. Now you have to get on your computer and go to Tony. Look, she's got all 3 of them fanned out. Go-
You pick what you want to, sweetheart.
I
You
Ma-
want one.
Mason,
You'll like-
Elaine
you like
Mason,
rhinestones.
Mason. She didn't tell
and you
us where
like
she
her.
was
Yeah,
from.
top tosses.
And you get on Tony, there it is, at Jeanne Robertson with no I in my name. And you say, because people write Jeannie with an I and Robinson, but we get it.
Mhm.
And tell Tony what you want, and she will send it to you. These are great.
If your name was drawn, don't
If
just
your
start
name-
randomly emailing Tony.
If you were pulled out for a question, that does not mean you won the prize. This is the prize one, and we pulling those out. Okay, now let's do one more question because I want y'all to sing together, and
We'll give the audio book away.
and I want to give my audio book away. We're holding back.
And you
like-
read this,
so-
didn't you, Jeannie? You read this yourself.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, that's
Thank
great.
you.
That see that
Another marketer. You
that
should have said.
that really will. You want this if she reads this in her accent. I'm telling you.
Well,
that's-
who else? Accent
Well,
am I
well, that's true.
read by Jeannie herself. 7 CDs. But we got a man this week. We'll be in touch with you. And you said if you could just win this because he works at a nursing home. And what a blessing this would be. So I said, oh, Tony, he ain't going to win out of all those names. So we will be in touch with you because
That's
that would
great.
be great of you to do.
So you won.
If
Yeah.
you won. Okay,
And
last
thank you for your
question.
service.
I was lucky enough to first meet each of you wonderful ladies when we were all younger, when y'all spoke at the South Carolina Association of Realtors Conventions. Oh, yeah. How many
gosh.
did you do? How did
I cannot. I did one for women probably about 2 years ago,
Okay.
and that was fun. Yeah. So I don't know, maybe 3, maybe 4.
yeah, you get, I mean, I've been doing this 57 years and you've been doing it how many years? Since 91?
Yeah, about
Okay.
91. Yeah.
So you go to the state conventions and it's
Yeah.
great. And you go back and some of the same people are always
Oh yeah,
there.
and they want to hear the same stuff.
Sometimes-
Some of them do. It's like tell that story.
Yeah,
You know?
but then that makes you a one-trick pony. I say, I have better material. Have
Yeah.
I told
I
you
do too.
about Left Brain. I want y'all to sing that song that y'all just sang together. a
And
while ago.
Patrick's writing a song for me too, Jeannie. He's a songwriter for other people.
Are you writing
Yeah.
Jane a song?
Yeah.
I guess so.
Why are you not writing? Patrick saying, I am.
I sent him the words. We're going to work on it. But he's so talented. Other people hire him
I know
to
that.
do instrumentation.
It's
I
true.
will tell you
It's
something
true,
funny.
I am
Somebody
talented.
said, y'all, we just have been so lucky to have these speaking careers. But somebody
Yeah.
wrote us and said, we think Patrick is wonderful. When this is all over, why don't you see if you can help him get in the speaking business too? Y'all don't understand. Until COVID hit, Patrick was booked every week of the year.
Mhm.
I mean, we have all benefited from getting to
He's a
give
good
speeches.
coach too. I've asked him to run several things by him.
All right,
It's funny.
where am I supposed to go?
Excuse me.
Okay, Norma.
Jeannie,
Mhm.
have you given a name for your audiobook prize?
No, it's going to be the grand finish.
Oh, okay.
Okay, well, okay, it's not going to be the grand
Just
finish.
no,
I'm going
that's
to give
all right.
this
I
away
just didn't
right
want-
now.
I just missed it.
No, you don't want to miss it. Tony's in charge of everything.
Well, Jeannie,
Okay.
they won't go let me read my own book. That's why I said I'm glad you read it.
This person right here wins the 7 CD, 7 minutes and 7 hours and 20 minutes. Oh, there's 2 of them. I'm going to throw that one away before I look at it.
They don't like when you do that.
I know that. Everybody will think that was my name. Jennifer Simmons from Nebraska. Okay, way out there. They got farm people out there too.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. She'll love your accent.
soybeans. I got
Corn.
a lot of stuff out
Corn.
there.
Corn, big time corn.
Jennifer Simons. Now, if y'all are going to sing a song together,
Mm-hmm.
why would I be sitting in here?
You gonna jump
between?
in?
Because
No, I'm
I'm
not gonna
already
jump.
seated in front of the microphones.
I got it.
So you just smile.
No rehearsal.
Amazing grace, how sweet the sound
that
saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now am found. Was blind, but now I see. When we've been there 10,000 years, bright shining as the sun, with no less days to sing God's grace than when we first begun.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you.
Loved it. Oh, thank you, Patrick. Round of applause.
And now you know why Patrick did not become Miss America.
But he could have.
Yeah, but
Especially nowadays.
you hit that high note when you're singing that national anthem.
Boy.
It's 49 seconds and it's smoky because of the things. And I'm sitting there thinking, and I'll notice something else in that song.
Mm.
The song ends, you think,
Mhm.
and that big orchestra.
Mhm.
Do you realize what they play between the end of the song and the last note?
No,
You go back and listen.
really.
We listened and sat there and listened and listened. Yes.
Oh.
It's not a fight song for Clemson.
No.
I mean, you sing to hear and you finish what people think you have finished.
Mhm.
And then what's that last line when I'm thinking, is she going to hit that note?
Mhm.
And goes,
America, America,
America.
America, my home.
Uh-huh.
My home. I know. I had to wear 2 pairs of Spanx
I know. To get it in
and
there.
a long line bra.
So between the big ending line and here, the whole big orchestra goes, the beginning of another great song from America.
Really?
Yeah. I've listened to it at least 10 times this week and saying, I'll be darned. How did they slip that? Oh, it's wonderful. It's wonderful. And the best thing I've ever seen, you mentioned it earlier, because I was saying, how many Miss Americas did you date? And you said, well, I escorted a number and I dated one, but we were going through the names and one of them sang opera. Who was it? Go over the Miss Americas again.
Susan, she sang too long at the fair.
No, but she could sing opera.
No, that she did the fun. She was, she had.
Susan Perkins.
Susan Perkins.
No, Powell, Susan Powell,
Susan
Miss
Powell.
Oklahoma.
Well, we will
Yeah.
end on a funny note. So I will tell you what she did at the Miss America pageant one time when I was the judge. They brought back some real talented ones. You know how they do. They invite them back. And they brought back Susan Powell. I'm sure it was she. She was an opera singer. And went on to sing opera. And so she got up to sing and she was showing what she could do. And she could, I mean, if you're in the opera in the big cities, you can sing. And she was la 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 la, and then she just stopped and said, "Y'all jump in anytime you want to." And brought the house down.
She's hilarious.
She's really funny, but I love that. Hey, y'all, this has been so much fun.
Oh, Jeannie, thank you.
Will
for
you
having
come
me.
back?
Oh, I'd love to.
Okay. Will I have to take y'all to dinner again?
No, we'll pay.
No,
we'll pay.
No, I'm just kidding. You know I am.
It was
But
fun.
really a lot of fun, and just wanted to introduce y'all to yet another one of my friends on the back porch. And y'all have become, as this year has progressed, I see so many familiar names every week. And Patrick, wouldn't you say we made a lot of new friends too? So thanks everybody for coming, and for Pete's sake, keep laughing.
She's a heck of a lot of fun, Jeanne Robertson. Oh, she's a heck of a lot of fun, Jeanne Robertson.